we need to get there, which is, it's, you know, as
Hi
you know,
everybody,
it's not an easy
this
place
is
to get
Goddess
to
Taya
Hawaii
4444.
from the mainland, especially if you're coming from the
If you're
Northeast.
new
And you
here,
look at some of the
welcome.
video
If you're new,
of the
if
big
you're
waves there
returning,
on the Big
welcome back.
Island. You know, myself and team
My
flew
readings
out
is
there
not
into
for
Kona.
everyone. If
We
something in
assessed
my
the
reading
scenario on that
resonates with
side
you,
of the island. Sort of took
take
the
that
pulse
and go
of
with it.
everyone, how emergency preps
If
were
nothing
happening. And remember, this was a
resonates
system
with
that was
you in
tracking
this
to the
reading,
south
you
of the
could
Big
go to
Island,
my
unlike
other
Pico, which
readings,
is tracking to the north.
and
And
you may
also at the
find
time, there were
something
3 separate
there.
systems
Okay?
out in the Pacific
I don't
at
do
that point. So it was
personals,
sort
and
of
I don't
a
accept
trio of danger
donations.
headed toward the island. But what we
This
decided to do
reading
was
is
begin
for
on the Kona side,
these
go
coins
across the Big
here
Island at the high
that I got.
altitude through the rainforest, and eventually
If
end
you
up
want
in
these
Hilo, where Michael
coins,
Estime and team
I got
are, as
them
we
from
awaited the impacts from
Temu.com.
Hurricane Hone, which we
That's
knew had the
TEMU.
potential of creating power outages, heavy
These
rains, and
coins
big waves coming in,
are
which all of that
encased.
occurred. Thankfully, it was
They are
isolated.
encased
It was not
in
widespread
plastic.
damage. Of course,
They
there
have
was
weight
damage,
to
millions
them,
of dollars,
and they're
but
very,
nothing like
very
it could have
good.
been if there
So
was
if
a
you want
direct
these
impact.
coins,
It just kind of
go
started
get
to
them
the south.
before they sell
having
out.
said that, my
They
goodness, the
are about
topography there on the
$2.
Big Island with the mountains,
But
the hills,
anyway,
the
this
rivers,
reading
the
is
streams,
for
and the water
Aquarius,
just started flowing down any
water
channel they could
barrier.
find when the rain came, and so it was very dramatic visuals
The cards
and
that I
quite the
have
scene for some
is
time. As a matter of fact, some of the
in the
roadways that went
center,
from Hilo to the south
Ten of
rim
Pentacles,
of the Big Island, where the biggest impacts were completely cut off because of the rain and the inundation on the
Page
roadways.
of Cups,
So we actually couldn't even
crossing.
make it as far south as we wanted to. But I will tell you guys, you know, some of the most difficult part of reporting in Hawaii on hurricanes is that time difference. It is just something else. That 6 hours from, you know, Hawaii to the Northeast, and it is brutal because a lot of it's in the middle of the night, and it's tough to maneuver around all of that and try to bring the
I'm
pulse
trying
of
to
what's
find
happening. So, in a nutshell, you know, Hawaii, known for all of these systems out there, but
position of
very
the
rarely
card.
gets those direct impacts, right?
I mean, but it doesn't take a direct landfalling storm to see significant impacts. You were also there for the Lahaina fires, where you had Dora that moved south, created that pressure gradient, and created the costliest and deadliest disaster in a lot of ways for the Hawaiian Islands. And, you know, when it comes to Hawaii, you are on an island. There are hundreds of miles away from your nearest evacuation zone. How do you think that plays into folks who live on the island, their preparations, and their lead time for this?
That's a great question. You know, it is so remote. The series of islands that make up Hawaii.
Anyway,
and really, when you're out there, you do feel very isolated.
The world is
especially
beneath.
if you pull up a map and you realize, oh my gosh, I'm in the middle of the Pacific Ocean.
Intuition.
What happens if catastrophe
High
occurs?
Priestess
But the good
is
thing
behind.
is about Hawaiians and the way that they operate
But
is
crowns
their
you.
mentality is in a sense in one with nature
It's the
and
Three
the
of
landscape
Wands.
there and the ocean, and so they're always on guard and ready for any sort of environmental impacts that may come
Before
their way.
you, it's
Now,
judgment.
tourists, on the other hand, maybe not so much, right? As they're, you know, in their beautiful hotels and sort of insulated to what's really happening. And I think I heard Michael say, you know, a lot of people, a lot of the
Give me a
tourists
few
weren't even
minutes.
aware
Let me
that
look
the
for
system
this.
was making the way there. That's kind of the way it goes. You sort of look for that peace when you get to Hawaii. But as far as the locals go, they seem to be always ready.
Position
Heard that they
of
activated
these
National
cards.
Guard on the Big Island right now. They've got emergency preparations going.
Wow.
That's all a good thing because you just never know, right? You just don't know what's going to happen with these systems, regardless
Aquarius,
of rainfall or anything else, and especially the rip currents, the big waves coming in. A lot of people from around the world may not be
family.
realizing that is a deadly,
Could be an
deadly
inheritance.
scenario. So you got to be really careful, guys.
But I'm really feeling like it's family.
It takes time to activate the National Guard, which is
possibly a child.
Declarations for emergency ahead of time to allow for that time and wait and see how it all pulls together. So
the
we
challenge
appreciate you sort of taking a look back at Hone, the experience
either
that
you're going to get a message
will watch the big waves
about a child,
live in Hilo. Robert Ray, thank
or
you so much for
it is about a child.
Thank you.
over the weekend, the only disturbance we were tracking.
So
91
what I'm
out,
feeling
fell
is
apart
you might be
completely. The
pregnant.
leftovers still expected to pull
If you're
some
not,
moisture towards the Lesser Antilles, but
you
you know,
may
you're in a
become
tropical environment.
pregnant.
You expect to see rain at
It's
times,
about a
especially this
child.
time of year. So not having a named tropical system barreling down into the Caribbean is
Your
a really
intuition
good
may
trend.
have
And you know,
told
we are
you
still
this.
watching for tropical waves moving off the coast of Africa. But
Yeah.
really the bigger threat is these
And this is
homegrown
B&J
systems,
is
especially
involved.
because you do not have the time to prepare. You've been saying
If
it all
somebody's
morning,
by
but
the
you
name
wake
of
up and there's a
BJ,
tropical storm, and then within a day you could have a Category 5 hurricane.
or it
Yeah,
could
I mean,
be
people feel
JB.
like that sounds dramatic, that it's out of
I
the
don't
movies,
know.
but it can happen. And
Or
that's
it
the
could
concern
be
this year,
a
especially
boy.
as we kick the can farther down the road.
The
You
baby,
know,
the
nothing's going to
child.
change with MDR
If
for the
the
next
child
7
is
to 10
already
days.
here,
I
the
really just don't
baby
see it
could
with the
have
amount of
a
dust that we have
J
working.
name or
But
B name,
as we
however it
push farther
resonates.
and farther
If you all need
into
to
the
switch it
first
around,
couple weeks
do
of
so.
October, this idea of a homegrown threat will grow because we'll have more dips in the jet stream. The weather pattern over the lower 48 will be more
Your
conducive
strength is
for a homegrown threat. So here's the reality, folks. We got 60%
wow.
activity to go. It is possible that we have a
Seems
bust
like
forecast
you
and we
turned
get really
your
lucky.
back
Sure, that can happen. But also,
and looking
we
somewhere
have to
else.
really face the brutal reality that we have at least 4 to 6 weeks to go here, where
But
it can
you're
happen very quickly.
still
And the
holding
only way we can
on.
get through this potential is just to be on guard and ready to go. The forecast is calling for
In the
development
future, you're being
over the
judged.
Gulf through the end of September.
Or someone is
the weather
being
patterns
judged.
suggest that we can't have
Somebody
systems
done
pop
turned
up
their
close
back
to
on a
home through the
child.
beginning of October. So it's buckle down, wait and see. But being a Gulf Coast resident in the past, I will say it's very smart to not let your car drop below a half tank.
Okay.
Because systems that happen quickly
My
also
timing
lead
is
to
No.
a rush of
If you
activity.
wait
Yeah.
on
Okay.
it,
Yeah.
you
And
will
you just don't want to be the one that's freaking out at the grocery store. You really don't.
This was somebody's hopes
Arm
and
yourself.
wishes.
As we move on to what is
Maybe
actually
you're
happening across the
pregnant.
Gulf states, we got a lot of thunderstorms in the forecast for Florida. It's not a shocker. I mean, this is rainy season. This is when you
Let's see.
anticipate this type of action. That's a live look, by the way. You can see the clouds kind of building off in the distance, and that's kind of what you notice in the morning. More quiet weather, easiest
You have
time to
been
get
dealing
out and
with
about,
this
so we
for a
see
long
thunderstorms already
time.
bubbling up with
None
the
of ones.
limited amount
Yes,
of daylight we have seen thus far. So here's a look at radar. You will notice that we do have a distinct area of rotation that's in the eastern Gulf. Folks, this is not tropical. This is a mid-level low. It does add, though, to the unsettled flavor
tired.
of the weather.
This is a
We'll have more widespread
emperor.
thunderstorms with this type of a feature, and also run the risk of seeing a
So,
waterspout because we
an
have a little bit of
emperor
twist that's innately there.
Yeah, I mean, when it comes to water spouts, it really
have
doesn't pose any threat to land. Sometimes they can come onto shore, but they're usually weak, short-lived tornadoes.
his
That
back
is a minimal threat when we look at the bigger picture, but just
on
something
a
of note.
child.
Overall, for Florida, level 1 out
A
of 4,
family
nothing to write home about. You probably see
that
trends
you have
like
a
this
child
every
with.
single day once we get into, peak of the wet
It was
season, kind of in that
orchestrated,
general zone right
strated
now.
to do
In total, we're expecting about 2 to 3
to
inches of
happen
rain.
like
You want to
that.
escape the rain
Or maybe an
adjust a big
Aries
vacation
could be
plan, I would
involved,
suggest going a bit
but
further north.
there's
You guys will be
conflict.
sitting in a better way in regards to the heavy rainfall at times.
Yeah,
For those of
Pensacola is
you-
going to do much
There's
better.
a
than
lot of
Tampa.
people.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the I-10 corridor is a little bit better because that stationary boundary is just a little further south than that. So a lot of the bigger moisture content is just further to the south, and so that can aid in some of the heavier rainfall rates we see.
Maybe
As you can see, every day of this week
what
will
I'm
be the
feeling
same.
here
We
is
do have
this
an opportunity, though,
emperor.
to chip
This
away at this.
emperor
Extreme drought is nothing
has
to
had
laugh
a
at.
wake-up
It can
call.
lead to wildfire potential for a place like South Florida. If we push it down
Oh,
too
okay,
far.
that's what it
So we
is.
need to make a dent, and this is our time of year that we do make a dent. So
Ending.
we'll enjoy the fact that we're in rainy season, embrace it, and just change how you are living your life. Get a lot of that activity in the morning.
Yeah.
Because
thank you so much for tuning in to Fox Weather. We do this to improve your life.
obviously your
We appreciate
person
you
has
waking
stabbed
up to
you
the
in your
beginning of our
back.
lives, waking up early.
Oh,
for
that's
this
pretty.
show.
Look at Broken Bow.
That's the the bonus. We show you all the gorgeous sunrises across the United States in the
So
morning hours.
I'm
Absolutely
feeling
gorgeous.
like you are dealing with
America is built on hard work and powered by American
you're
energy.
dealing with the
Chevron
karmic.
fuels communities nationwide, spending $44 billion since 2022 with local businesses across 50
You have a
states.
child
Chevron
together.
is building a
You
brighter
have
future here
a
at home.
child together. Damn.
There is life outside of racing. Maybe that helps me get a girlfriend.
100 Days
Damn.
streaming now on Fox Nation. Sign up at foxnation.com.
Aquarius. Your person done went to a high priest. No, there's the high priest that is
Energy
behind
is like a symphony. Every note, every chord,
you.
every instrument creates an incredible melody of power
Could
and possibility.
be
But that
a
energy needs to be
spiritual
reliable to
guide.
elicit power and
God.
affordable to keep the melody. At home, on the road, on farms and fleets, and even ports. Propane and renewable propane lower carbon emissions while harnessing the full symphony of energy. Learn more about safe, clean, reliable propane at propane.com.
Maybe both of you all are intuitive.
Come on.
The next, a crack.
Or you
But at
could
least you can
have
fix now and pay later in 4
went
interest-free payments at SafeLight.com.
Nice.
And SafeLight can come to you for free,
to.
anytime, anywhere, and do everything you
Oh,
need to
I'm
get back on the
hearing
road.
the Emperor
Safe light repair.
is
Safe light replace.
is
Go to
intuitive.
SafeLight.com and get it fixed now
Yeah.
and pay later.
Yosemite National Park, 1,200 square
The
miles of
Emperor
soaring
is
cliffs, cascading falls,
intuitive.
and endless groves of sequoias. They didn't set out to change America, but that's what ended up happening.
Yeah.
Tax withheld, added benefits, just
Knight of Wands.
Nice. Hi. I'm you, with more gusto. You look so relaxed. Things have been
Yeah.
great. My hair's growing back. Yeah. Team's taking a new flow.
Collective,
It's just me.
you
Nope.
walked
We
away.
hired our first employee.
You moved
Correction.
away
Team
from
of 4.
this
Correction. Team of 7.
your family.
It's beautiful.
You have
Build
a
your business with
child.
gusto.
This is a new beginning.
You have a child.
Is our common ground.
I don't know if you're married
It is the most important story.
And we're not
yet.
afraid to tell.
If you were married, the marriage card hasn't come out. You possibly could be married or could
For you,
have been married.
for all,
For all.
for all,
For all.
for all America.
Okay.
For all America.
Yeah, you're moving away.
Welcome back. Thanks for staying with us here on Fox Weather First. We're to Merwin alongside Haley Meyer this morning.
The
Severe
cycle
weather
is
a
over
topic
for you,
today.
the
Unfortunately,
two of
Central
you.
Plains facing
Yeah,
a
the
threat.
cycle is
But it's
over
been a
for the
threat
two of
zone.
you.
Take a look at this video. High school football game.
So
in
you're
Denton,
getting your
Texas.
wish.
Friday night lights. It's a real thing, folks. Texas is football, and this weather not appreciated. Strong winds, heavy rain. It
You
delayed
have
the game between
had
Denton High and Fort Worth Eastern Hills.
A
National Weather Service office, by the way,
a wake-up
confirmed they had
call.
winds peaking to 74 miles per hour.
Sagittarius.
So now we reset the day, we reset the
You have
threat.
had
We
a
could see
wake-up
isolated
call.
tornadoes,
Okay,
but
you're
more
on your
likely we'll see more
spiritual
widespread
journey.
reports when it comes to hailstones.
Let's
So here's the
see.
level
Let's
2
see what's
risk
going
zone
on
where
there.
We'll see the majority of our severe weather reports today. Southern parts of Kansas, the panhandle of Oklahoma and Texas, and the timeline is this afternoon, this evening, and some of these storms can produce hailstones bigger than 2 inches in diameter. So we're talking big old chunks of hail. Here's a look at current radar, not too shabby. We do have a cluster of thunderstorms starting to develop across parts of Kansas. And that energy is kind of the beginning of what will unfold later today.
What's
This
going
zone
on
drifting down to the south, looking at our super
with
small
this
peninsula as well.
divine
And it moves
masculine,
these
this
storms down
emperor?
to Oklahoma as we go into the
Is
afternoon.
on
And
his
by this
spiritual
evening, we have
journey.
all that heat and humidity that's been building up throughout the
What
day.
is he
And
doing?
one signature that's popping up that is slightly concerning is this feature. The fact that we could have supercells, which is noted by the Storm
What's
Prediction
going
Center's
on with
forecast
him?
discussion, that kind of changes the game.
So
because
you done walked
supercells,
away from
they
your
have the
family.
potential to start rotating. So if we see isolated tornadoes, higher potential of seeing that with a supercell. And of course, you can get some dramatic large chunks of hail out of supercells. Notice that by midnight, we kind of cooler jets. So this is very diurnal, meaning that in the heat of the day, we'll see those clouds build. And then this evening, it's going to get busy. And then a couple hours after sunset,
I'm trying to
quiets
see.
down. And we'll get ready for another day. In fact, tomorrow we do have a potential for severe weather. More limited, more isolated.
This relationship cause you to...
And right now we've got a hurricane out in the Pacific Ocean. This is east of Hawaii. It now looks like the state will avoid the brunt of Hurricane Kiko's weather impacts, but they won't be completely scotch-free.
Yeah, some residents, they're not
this
taking chances.
the stress of this relationship
folks going to the store, getting
caused
supplies
you
just in
to
case.
drink.
I mean, it's always better to be over-prepared than under-prepared when it comes to hurricanes.
You never know what can happen to the power plant or the power poles, anything like that. So if something does happen, at least we'll still have power for our food and our families. We still got to go get oil, gas, propane, toilet papers, different things like that around. So we still got quite a few things to do.
Yeah.
Hawaii officials
Caused
also
you,
tapping
it was
into
a
federal
struggle for you to
resources.
let
That
go
includes the
of this
Coast Guard
connection
assets, and about
because
700 Hawaii National Guard soldiers
of the child.
were activated, training on the island but on standby in case they are needed. The biggest concern for Hawaii
that child is
is
your
the
trigger
Western,
point
the
right
large
there.
waves, dangerous rip currents,
That's it.
and because this is passing
That
so
child
close
is your
to the
trigger
Hawaiian
point.
Islands, and it does
Because
coincide
you
with
love that
full
child.
moon
You
time
love them.
cycles. We could have a larger impact when it comes to coastal flooding, especially during times of high
That was
tide.
your trigger
We do
point
have
right
live reports
there.
on Fox Weather today
It's
coming out of Hawaii. Our
understandable.
estimate is on the islands, so make sure that you stay tuned.
Aquarius.
We'll give you the latest on what's happening in regards to Kiko, but this is anticipated to pass north of the
It
island,
hurt you to leave
weakening
that
to a tropical
child.
storm, having its closest pass happen between Tuesday and Wednesday, with all eyes on Kiko.
And as we monitor Kiko in the Eastern Pacific, really the Central Pacific now, you may recall a previous hurricane that nearly missed the Hawaiian Islands around the same time. It was late August last year. We're going to take the time to look back at Hurricane Hone, which, unlike Kiko, tracked south, Kiko going north, and brought some substantial impacts to the island. Hone formed in the Central Pacific on August 22nd. You can see that track there behind me, again, following south of the
What
Hawaiian
else
Islands.
do
What's
they
interesting,
need
though,
to
in
know?
regards to Hone, it
important.
was actually the second named storm that we've
So
seen
you did
in
the
Central
right
Pacific,
thing
the
by
one that we
walking
had
away
previous back in
from
2019,
the
that being Emma.
situation.
So you don't really get these storms to form this late. Typically, you'll get that name in the Eastern Pacific. So a little bit of an interesting story there. At the time, it was just a tropical cyclone, and even though it didn't make landfall, it still brought more than 2
The
feet of
arguing,
rain
fussing,
for
and
some
fighting
spots, with
around your
dangerous surf,
child
damaging
or
winds, and
children
rain across the southern part of the
wasn't
island.
good. You
When we
knew
talk
that.
about rain, yes,
You knew
it
that.
had over 20 inches reported on certain portions of the Big Island of Hawaii. Wind gusts, in some instances, they were close to 70 miles per hour, both being seen in
you
Maui
went
and
into
Hawaii counties.
solitude.
So again, just kind of taking you through this.
Solitude,
On August 22nd
not
was when Hone
solitude.
passed to the south of Hawaii.
Yes, it is.
Most of the time, we'll see these storms pass
Solitude.
south of the
You went
Hawaiian
into
Island, and that can bring
solitude.
some really big impacts, especially when it comes to the wind.
Yeah.
We had Dora that
You
passed south of Hawaii that caused significant wind gusts as well as
did
interacted
that.
with the high pressure
You
to the north,
did
strengthening
that.
that
You
pressure
did
gradient
that.
force.
So
in regards
another
to Kiko,
Aquarius
Hone is
could
probably the
be
more impactful storm.
involved
We had
here.
Robert Ray, who was out on the Hawaiian Islands at the time when Hone was making its impacts. Again, we had damaging winds that knocked down trees.
So
At one
right
point, over
now
20,000
you're
people
just by
living without
yourself,
power in the path of
working
Hone.
on
At this
yourself.
moment, in regards to Hurricane Kiko, no, we don't expect any tropical alerts to be in place, but we did have tropical alerts for Hone. That was actually the last time
Healing
we
the
had tropical alerts
heartbreak.
before Hone was back in 2023 when we had Tropical Storm Calvin. So in regards to the Hawaiian Islands, a lot of times it is a miss, but you know, that's why we always take a look at the Eastern Pacific Basin as we watch these systems travel out
The
towards the west. At this
relationship
point, Kiko is the
made
biggest
you
threat
feel
zone for us now.
abandoned.
We do have an area to watch in the Eastern Pacific that is expected to travel a little bit further north,
Stalemate.
parallel to the Mexican coastline.
You felt stuck in the relationship.
Strong Storms moving through the Northeast and New England this past Saturday, sort of lashing the area with strong winds, also had some hail, even, yes, tornado reports. 9 states were under severe thunderstorm
You have a
watches
twin
as the storms were
flame,
bubbling up. That tornado, by
or
the way, Holden,
you
Massachusetts. We'll get to that
want to
before next
find
moment. But
out
here's a
who
wide
your
look
twin
at the
flame
Northeast.
is.
This is a well-forecasted event, but definitely threw a
You
wrench
was in
into the
denial
plans for folks that
at
live
first
across the 95
about
corridor.
this twin
Lots of tree
flame.
damage, some hail reports as well, but the strong straight line
But
is the most common report coming out of the area. Looking up into upstate New York, parts of Connecticut, we had
if not
trees
now,
going into homes. Big concern here. This one report
spiritual
mentioning that
warrior,
the tree was on fire
you're going to
because
get
of lightning,
closer
and that led to a home fire. So
to
these are some
God,
of the things that
and you're
unfortunately
very
were reported out of our
loyal.
weekend storms. Moving on to Massachusetts.
You're very
In addition
loyal
where we saw
to the
tornado report, we also had
connection.
reports of tree damage that could have been linked
You
to
want to
Houston's
grow
straight line
old
winds,
with
but
your
looking back at
twin,
radar,
of
you can
course.
definitely see the tornadic signature
At
here.
first
So
you
we'll
was
go
like, I
through
can't
all
do
of
it.
these screenshots. Here's traditional radar, what you would pull up on your Fox Weather app. And some of these instances that happen
Like
in the
I
Northeast,
said, it
they're
was
so
hard.
small that it's even hard to see unless you're a trained
Number one, you
meteorologist.
was
By
shocked
flipping to what we call our debris tracker,
when
this
you
is where the debris is
when
being
you got
lofted
the
up in the
message
air. So if you go from the first screenshot to this,
from
you know, it really helps identify where the actual
the
tornado
higher
is
up.
embedded in this family of thunderstorms.
You was
Here's
shocked.
the signature for the rotation, and then looking at
You
the rotation using
you
our
was
velocity.
torn,
That's exactly
or you
where
are
we had the
torn,
tornado pop. But also down towards Worcester, we also had some rotation.
and you're
that did
not
lead
sure.
to a tornado actually
But
getting
I
down
can
to the
tell
ground.
you
So
now,
these are some of those finite features that we look at as meteorologists.
however
But
you was
at the end of the
told
day, if you have damage,
that
whether it's
you have a
straight line
twin
winds or tornadoes, you have
flame,
damage.
Well, in a lot of ways,
it's
people can
true.
mistake straight line wind damage for tornado
Yeah.
damage because it can be so significant.
A psychic
For
may have
the
told
Northeast, it was a
you
level 2
that
out of 5 threat for severe
you have a
storms. I
twin
mean, we
flame.
don't see that every
That's
day.
just
We had just enough instability. You can see
high
the hail report,
priestess right
an inch
here.
and a half causing damage to windshields.
Yeah.
A lot of this happening
That's
north
a
of
big
Manhattan.
hailstone
Yeah.
for New Hampshire.
Maybe
This
your
is New England,
intuition.
not the Central Plains.
Your
So an inch and a
intuition.
half hailstone is pretty large for New Hampshire.
Maybe
Yeah.
your
I mean,
intuition
at the
told you you
moment,
had
we
a
had
high
just left Weather Fan weekend, and
a
then I
twin
looked at my
flame.
phone. 5 tornado warnings just scattered across portions
And you
of
said
Connecticut,
to yourself, you
Massachusetts.
can't
But what's
take it,
interesting is that the
you
severe weather
can't do
was
it
slightly offset from the heaviest
because
rain. We had the bigger rain totals actually for
of
central
the
and
relationship
eastern New
that
Jersey,
you
right up against the
have
barely
shore.
had
with
rumbles
your
of thunder.
child's
I know.
mother
I was so
locations.
surprised.
or
We had a thunderstorm
father.
a couple weeks back over
Brother.
Manhattan, and
And
it
the
was crazy with the lightning and the thunder, and I heard maybe one rumble
relationship
over the weekend.
that you
And 2 to 3
have
inches of rain
with
for the
your
Jersey Shore, by
child's
the way. We are running very dry.
mother
We've been delighted with beautiful weather, but that does mean that it's been dry.
or father.
I know it was a ruckus weekend, but
Because
at
the
least there was a
emperor,
benefit with the rain.
you could be male or
And thank you for staying
female.
with us here on Fox Weather First as we kick off your
Maybe
work
it's
week.
for both
Yeah,
of
you want to make
y'all.
sure you download
The
Fox Weather app and turn
male
on those
and the
notifications to get
female,
the
because
latest
this is
updates,
for a group
especially
of
going into
people.
this afternoon and later evening where we have that severe storm threat for portions of the central
Oh yeah,
and
you
southern
were
plains. We'll
shocked
take you into the early
that your
overcast. We have
intuition
more Fox Weather.
told you what it told you.
I request a colon cancer screening kit from Cologuard.com, and if I'm eligible, it gets delivered to my drawbridge. Aces.
Cologuard is for people 45 plus at average risk, not high risk. False
Yeah.
positive and negative results may occur. Request a Cologuard kit online.
You're with the karmic partner.
Want a last minute
You
getaway?
was with the karmic partner.
Answer it.
Your karmic partner
Both
also
last-minute
was
deals
cheating
on
on
thousands
you.
of stays with Verbo.
Vegas. Its history is littered with tales.
You
of the
found
devil.
out.
I don't know what I was thinking.
Welcome to the danger zone. But here at the Gold and Silver, we're legendary
Heartbroken.
with great decisions. How much do you want?
Some of you found out the child isn't yours.
We know our history. It's probably 1910.
You give me
The
5.
right people. Thank you, Mr. Dillon. Good luck to you.
Yep.
And how to win big. Look what I got. This is super cool. Lucky for you, what happens here doesn't stay in Vegas. I might just be nuts for buying these things. Bob Stars by the History Channel.
Oh, I'm hearing, you know, I can't do it. You cannot keep dealing with your karmic partner. So you're planning. Some of you are planning to separate. Some of you are already separated. Some of you are overloaded with the shit that's going on at home, work, friends, other family members. You're overloaded. You tried to compromise with your karmic. You're one of them people that you try to compromise.
Hello, welcome to a new hour on Fox Weather. You're watching Weather Command. I'm Stephen Morgan.
Okay.
And I'm Satora. Thanks for hanging out with us.
Contemplation, like I said, some of y'all are
It's
contemplating.
This harsh reality. Let's ease this reality.
Some of you
by
all
heading to
are
paradise to kick off the
contemplating.
hour. Sounds nice, right?
Sounds great.
And it might be. The people in Hawaii, they're watching this Hurricane Kiko is going to make its closest approach
Or separating because of the child.
48 hours. Kiko isn't expected to make
Or
landfall,
children.
but indirect
For
impacts
some.
like big swells and dangerous life-threatening rip currents will continue threatening the islands. The waves, they're also expected to be the largest for those east-facing shores of the Big Island, as well as Maui.
And it's just
Meteorologist
chaos.
Michael Estimé has made his way to Hawaii this weekend. He's live this morning on the Big Island from the city of Hilo. Michael, good morning to you. People
This
living in
twin
Hawaii,
flame connection
they're
is an
watching this hurricane pretty
opportunity.
closely, even though it might not make landfall.
You're taking this opportunity. For some of you, you
Stephen,
are
aloha.
taking
Thank
this
you so much. And you're very
opportunity.
right. Folks here are very cognizant of the fact that we have what was a
You're
really
taking the
powerful hurricane just off
opportunity and
Puerto
you're
Rico.
running with it.
Downgraded, thank goodness, down to a Category 2 storm, winds at about 100
Some
miles
of
per hour.
y'all feel at peace without your karmic.
But I want you to hear
Yeah, I'm
from
feeling
people
that.
in Hawaii that are on the ground on how they're preparing. This is Matthew Piggott. He's the general manager of the Hilo Hawaiian Hotel. Here's how he's preparing.
Aquarius.
There may seem like it's kind of laid back, but we're
Some of you
on edge.
Some of you have
Everybody's tracking
pride.
it. Everybody's following what's happening.
Some
So
of you have
we're
pride.
everybody's got their gas tank full of gas. Everybody's generator is full and ready to go. So, the refrigerator's full for whatever
Too
happens.
afraid to walk away.
Yeah, full of those essential non-perishable items. And
Yeah.
it's not just Matthew. It's
You know,
also the
you don't
Hawaiian
want nobody
Emergency
to think
Management
that,
Agency. This is a statement that they
you
just
know,
released out to the
shit
public,
has
just
gone
saying that we
sour
continue to
for
message
you.
our residents to stay prepared.
Or
14
somebody that told you about it,
radio, batteries,
and
all the whole thing, right? And then saying that they want folks to tie down
you don't
outdoor furniture.
want to hear I told you so.
Upwards of 30 to 40 miles per hour in spots, but also be prepared
Desire.
to board up windows, avoid areas near waterways, dams, rivers, coastal perimeters, should flooding occur. Again, at this point, guys, from what the forecast looks like, we're expecting
vulnerable
this should stay well
between a place and a hard rock.
But it's some of those periphery
Some of you
that we could feel. Rain, not the biggest issue, about a ½ inch to 2 inches, generally speaking. Couple of spots here in the Big Island. Forecast calling for about 3 to 5, especially as you get higher in elevation. And then you talk about the winds. Again, at times Tuesday and on Wednesday specifically.
Getting the you're getting the willpower.
Mile-per-hour winds. Of course, you increase.
Some of y'all feel unworthy, but you're getting the willpower to break off this relationship.
Marine sort of impacts. There's about 13 to 14,000 registered boats in Hawaii. And
I'm gonna end it right there.
Mariners, folks that are thinking about, coming to Hawaii, going to some of the beautiful black sand beaches.
Midnight tonight through
Oh,
early tomorrow
okay.
morning, 9 to 12 footers. Just to our west, you have the island of Maui, a huge place for honeymooners, right? Tuesday morning, 9 to 12 foot waves expected. You go to Oahu, that's the main island with the capital of Honolulu. You have Tuesday evening around 5 to 6 p.m., 9 to 12 foot waves. And then as you head
You're
toward
wondering
Hawaii,
what
it's
to
going to be the
do?
most northern and western island in the island chain. By Wednesday
Yeah.
morning at around
You're
3, 4, 5
wondering
a.m.,
what to
we're
do.
talking 6
Because
to 9
see,
foot waves expected
you're
that way,
drinking?
too. Now, Stephen Burst, as you guys know, there's
Maybe both of
still
you
that
drinking?
margin of error or
It's
cone of uncertainty where if this does
your
perhaps level
your
out a little
person drinks,
closer to the coastline,
and
we
your
can
person
expect all of
also
those
ghosts
effects
on
to
you.
be magnified. Also,
Okay, I'm gonna leave
we
it
have a
right
lunar
there.
phase where there's a
You
big,
all
bright,
have a
beautiful full moon, and you guys know the
great,
drill.
a
Sometimes a big,
blessed
bright
day,
moon likes
and
to kind of
I'll
tug
get
on
back
those
to you as
waves.
soon as I
We can
can.
see
I mean,
an
I'll get
enhancement
back,
in
come
wave
back
heights
with another
just
reading
because of the
later.
moon phase that
Bye.
we're in. I don't want to call it a king